So I wake up this morning, I get an alert that says that my Pittsburgh Steelers have acquired Jalen Ramsey. And immediately I think to myself, this is interesting. How did we get our hands on Jalen Ramsey? I'm very curious who we gave up, because evidently for Pittsburgh, it's a bargain sale, if you will, because we're giving players away left and right. I mean, we're trying to figure out what the direction of the franchise is going to be, because, our quarterback happens to be a senior citizen. So we acquire Jalen Ramsey, and I say, you know what? Our secondary is on the up and up. In the realm of takeaways, interceptions, we were amongst the best in the league, at least in my estimation, right? So then I'm sitting there saying, all right, we've got Minkah, we've got a Bishop back there, we've got Elliott back there, we've acquired Slay as well, and now we got Ramsey. Boy, we're going to be in a situation where we've got a good amount of veteran leadership to make sure that our younger troops know exactly what's transpiring. And then the news broke! We gave away Minkah Fitzpatrick. Now, granted, Minkah Magic hasn't been on display, if you will, the last couple of years like it did in the first, 4 years of his tenure in Pittsburgh, because he came mid-2019, and then from 2019 to 2023, this man was absolute magic. The last 2 years, not so much. Or I should say, from 2019 to 2022, everything was magic. Then the last 2 years, not so much, right? Because you didn't have the splash plays. But he still ranked amongst the best safeties in the league, tackling ball carriers. Granted, that's a problem because we allowed so many running backs to break into the second level, but that's not what the conversation just so happens to be. We give away Minkah, who's 28, to go and get Jalen Ramsey, who's 30. Now, granted, 30 isn't the end of the line, but call it what it is. The past couple of years, what have Pittsburgh done? Whether it's been Patrick Peterson, whether it's been Joe Hayden before him, and then now Jalen Ramsey. We're acquiring this veteran leadership who's supposed to go and rally the troops. Patrick Peterson didn't necessarily do too much for our secondary. Joe Hayden, on the other end, was, I think, very spectacular for our secondary. Now we have Jalen Ramsey, and there are individuals who are saying, man, this is great. He's a future Hall of Famer. He's a Super Bowl champion. But the last 2 years, Jalen Ramsey and Minkah Fitzpatrick might as well have been the same person, because they have not played to the level that's necessary to go out and become a championship caliber defense. Take a look at the Pittsburgh Steelers team right now. We've got a senior citizen meetup, an elderly meetup. Granted, 30 years old ain't old, right? But in NFL terms, you might as well start answering those AARP letters in the mail. Somebody call the Gap Band on the phone. Where's Charlie Wilson when you need him? Outstanding. Hey! Come on. Girl, you knock me up. Hey! Come on. Sing it with me now. Exciting. Hey! Come on. Say what? Hey! It makes me want to shout. We might be washed, bro. Because we looking like that commercial where you had Jerry Rice, Randy Moss, and Dan Marino out here padded up in their 50s and 60s. Look at the roster. Aaron Rodgers, 41 years old. Cam Hayward, 36. Darian Slay, 34. Robert Woods, 33. Cam Johnston, 33. Jalen Ramsey, 30. TJ Watt, 30. Jonnu Smith, 30. Everybody old as fuck. I'm 31. I got grays. That's why I'm wearing the do-rag so you can't see it. I might as well get a helmet and shoulder pad and go out there with the senior citizens. What the hell are we doing with this franchise?
They don't know what the fuck they're doing. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Now, don't get me wrong, right? I'm still curious what direction it is that we're going to go. Because remember what I said, when we acquired Aaron Rodgers, for me, if this is what we're going to do, and he's since announced this will be his final season. We kind of all knew this is the end-all, be-all. This is it for the end of the road for Aaron Rodgers. Now that he's since confirmed, this is it. We oughta shell out and full send to acquire everybody under the sun to try to go and make a Super Bowl run, because that's what this season's for. There's no way that you go into this and say, you know what, we're just gonna throw stuff against the wall and see what sticks. Perhaps this season not only can be a winning season, but by gosh, we can go and win at least a playoff. No. We have to compete and be real contenders, because I can guarantee you this, from this season, or I should say after this season, we'll have absolutely absolutely no idea what the direction of the franchise will go. I would hope, once again, that you have Aaron Rodgers, who is instilling wisdom and all kinds of knowledge into Will Howard to prepare him to be the quarterback for the future. We've since acquired some additional pieces there on the offensive line. We're trying to go and beef that up. I would hope it would be to the level to where this man can mess around and be protected. But we better go out and start making some doggone signings. I think our tight end room is solid. I think we're okay in that retrospect. I think we can go and grab a couple more veteran wide receivers, if you will, since we're going to the laundromat and grabbing washed individuals regardless. Let's go and call up Amari Cooper. Right? Let's get him on the phone. Let's call up all different wide receivers that just so happen to be available and don't happen to be cancers in the locker room. And let's bring them onto the doggone franchise. Let's go and grab more available veterans that happen to be out there. And then go and get some more dynamic talent, if you will, so we can be somewhat of the 2021 Rams, right? Where we're going to pretty much either go into cap hell in an effort to go and get a Super Bowl, or we're just going to shell out 110%, sacrifice the entirety of the future in the hopes that this 41-year-old quarterback who is on crack can deliver us a Lombardi when he denied us 15 years ago. So my thoughts on the trade is this. It sucks that we lose Minkah Fitzpatrick, but the one caveat that he has against his name is that the last 2 years, outside of that interception against Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens this year, he really hasn't had splash plays like that the last 2 years. But neither has Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey has been getting burnt off the line. Jalen Ramsey has been getting beat for touchdown. Jalen Ramsey has not been the all-pro, future Hall of Fame cornerback that he was in Jacksonville and in Los Angeles. In Miami, the first couple of years were great. The last couple of years, not so much. Oh, I shouldn't say the first couple. I think it was really the first year, and then I think then the last two has just been a little tough for him. But whatever the case may be, I would hope that they're going to continue, Pittsburgh Steelers that is, and Omar Khan, will continue to make the appropriate moves to surround all of these veterans with other players, whether it be fellow veterans or upcoming talent, guys who are willing, able to go and contribute, and furthermore, educate the up-and-coming players, because there's only so much more years that's left. You can't continue to believe you can compete with an elderly, nursing home-like franchise, or I should say roster. Because remember, early 2010s, we were the oldest team in the league, albeit we were winning games 2010, 2011, not so much 2012, but we were still talked about competing, if you will, but it's not enough to go and get over the hump. You can only be the oldest team in the league for so long. So we got out of Minkah's contract. That's cool, I guess. But we better go and acquire a safety. Maybe if it's not on that level, maybe we get Elliott to that level, maybe we get Bishop to that level, whatever the case is. We've got to make sure that we fill that void and we grab players that can perform at a very high level. Because I'm telling you right now, if this season doesn't provide results, everything was an L. And you better hope to God that the shrooms, the ayahuasca, the crack, all of that wears off and Rodgers truly does lead Will Howard with everything within his being, so that moving forward we have a quarterback who's ready to take over and bring the franchise forward. Because if we don't have that, and this year doesn't result in a Lombardi, because as far as I'm concerned, at this point, the goal is Lombardi or bust. At first it was, hey, let's go and win a playoff game. Now that we know this is Rodgers' last season, and he's talking about, let's go out there and, have some fun, enjoy my final year. Let's enjoy that with some hardware, if you will, huh? Let's be delusional this year and hope that we can go all the way, because there's no scenario where 4-13 is acceptable. There is no scenario where 6-11 is acceptable. You had better lock all the way in so that we can compete amongst the titans of the AFC, compete with Kansas City, compete with Baltimore, compete with Buffalo, compete with all of those guys in the AFC to where we're not a laughing stock and, above all else, collapsing in December. And lastly, I'll say this regarding Mike Tomlin. I don't think I'll find myself in a situation where we have to revisit these blockbuster moves during the offseason anymore, because I don't envision a circumstance where it'd be something of this category that requires being talked about. But to Mike Tomlin, back in 2008, he talked about unleashing hell in the month of December. The past few Decembers, it's been very lackluster. If it was supposed to be unleashing hell, evidently the heat is relatively weak, and we haven't been able to melt snow if you place it on tap of a radiator. So as far as I'm concerned, we've got to figure out how we're going to get that together moving forward. So I would hope that Jalen Ramsey being acquired is able to galvanize that defense towards making plays. I would hope that we would somehow search underneath somebody's couch and find the money to lock up TJ Watt for life. And we can go out there and win games because we struggle to stop the run. We've beefed up that D-line. We've got the people in places to be able to go and make plays. But guess what? It doesn't matter what it looks like on paper. It matters what it looks like on film. And come week 1, when we go to MetLife and we play against the New York Jets in a game that I probably should attend, but I'm probably not going to, we better put on the field a performance that will carry us to the postseason. Not to overlook anybody who's in front of us, but you already know what the situation is. It's 1 week at a time, but we better go out there and perform. That's all I got to say about this. All I'm seeing from all of these moves is we have to win now. And now means this season. There is no time to wait. There is no time to delay. It's now or never. Get the High School Musical, playing in the background. Where's Troy Bolton when you need him singing? It's now or never. It's not 16 more minutes. Got to get it done. It's going to be 60 minutes every single Sunday that we've got to get it done and go out there and win motherfucking games. And that's all I got to say about that. So I'm going to take myself a drink here. I'm going to grab myself a drink here. Very unconventional to close out a video, but I'm going to take myself a drink here for the Pittsburgh Steelers because I already know alcoholism will increase by at least 36% this season. So I might as well start drinking now to be able to endure what's on the horizon. What is this, vodka? Whatever the case is. Good Lord. Get the job done. Get the job done. We lost Minkah. We gained Jalen, but we lost Minkah. So, in the famous words of Jalen, y'all let it be known in the comment section, do you think this increases our chances? Because we're going to be sitting at probably 9-8, 10-7 one way or another. But I'm very curious. So, as I stated prior, in the words of Jalen, y'all in the comment section.
You tell me. You tell me.
Hey, I appreciate you watching the entire video. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and the like button on the way out if you haven't already. And on top of that, hit that notification bell as well. For whatever reason, YouTube's only showing my videos to 20% of my subscribers. So if you have already turned on the notification bell, turn it off, turn it back on. If you never turn it on, turn it on. I appreciate you.